Coco Gauff standing on business. And she was cooking without grease. As always, this coverage is brought to you via the doctrine of fair use, the fair dealing, and the digital Millennium Act. I'm your host, Get Energy. Welcome to Tennis in a Minute. The rematch, that's right, of Berlin, where Wong upset Coco on grass just a couple months ago. However, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget they played previously in Berlin a few years ago where Coco served up a bagel. However, guys, I may not respond to every comment. I can't. There's so many of them. But I see a lot of them and I hear a lot of things. And I heard you guys stating that Wong was going to upset Coco again and it would be another bloodbath. I think not, ladies and gentlemen. Now, technically, grass is the fastest surface than hard. But a lot of that is based on how the ball carries and travels on grass and the bounce, etc. Now, when we factor in Coco's athletic ability, despite her stating that clay is one of her better surfaces, I beg to differ, guys. I think Coco Gauff on hard is a problem. And in fact, I think when you factor in her athletic ability, I think it's her fastest surface and I think it's her best surface. Of course, she has more titles on hard. Of course, her first slam coming at the U.S. Open, the biggest slam of them all. And by the way, we are getting down to the nitty gritty. We're almost there. Now, this match here, I knew would be a straight set victory for Coco. I knew it would be straightforward because, guys, Wong is not the explosive athlete that Coco is. And I think during these rallies, it showed how Wong was on the back foot for the majority of them. The pressure that Coco puts on you from exchanging her backhand, switching to the forehand, and then defending everything in no man's land and extending you behind the baseline. I think Coco Gauff is just, she's dangerous for most opponents on hard because they can't hang with her in a lot of these rallies. Despite 8 double faults and only 58% of her first serves in play, she still won 74% of her first serves. And she won for most of the match 70% of Wong's second serves and 40+% of her first serves. Perfect on breakpoint opportunities, 5 for 5. Wong did have several opportunities, but Coco defended and she stepped up when it mattered. Listen, guys, and look, I love the natural hair. And look, I've been to Cincinnati. There's not much in Cincinnati. So I love the natural look from Coco. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, up next, we're going to have another rematch. Dayana Yastremska, who played well. She had a very tough match earlier. But again, I think we're going to see Coco's athletic ability shine. And I think that's another win that she should get under her belt. And I think it will be a competitive match. I mean, Dayana's looked a lot more patient in the pocket. She's looked a lot more patient, whether that's inside the lines, extended beyond the baseline. She's showing discipline, right? Not just taking and stepping up, taking the unnecessary winner, trying to thread the needle down the line. She's extending the rallies and being a lot more patient. And I think with her power, as she plays more disciplined and more smart, I could see her possibly going deep in another slam and possibly making a slam final. I could see that, happening very soon for Dayana. But again, I do think Coco will have enough to get past Dayana and go deep in Cincinnati. Let's not forget, she is a former champion here just 2 seasons ago. So congratulations for Coco. She gets the win here again. Perfect on breakpoint opportunities, those pressure point situations. And by the way, did you see Jasmine Paolini earlier destroy the Greek goddess in that tiebreak? For the most part, she was up like 6-love at one point. And listen, guys, is it me or is this? It seems like the level of tennis has dropped. I don't know if the ladies are exhausted. I don't know if they're burnt out or overworked. But we're seeing a lot more younger players come up and challenge the household names on tour. Yeah, it's happening, guys. And what about Belinda Bencic? She had a tough match earlier with Veronika Kudermetova, where Veronika dominated really the first set. And again, another tiebreak where Veronika was up at one point, 6-love. We have a lot of great matches coming up. Elena Rybakina, Elisa Mertens. I think Mertens, she had a tough match against Claire V yesterday. I do think Rybakina might be a little too strong for Elisa Mertens, so that's going to be something we'll have to look out for. Iga gets the walkover against Marta. Marta, hopefully she can recover and mentally be ready for the U.S. Open. Amanda Anisimova, she's going to take on A.K. Anna Kalinskaya. That's going to be a good match. Ekaterina taking on Maya Joint. Again, Maya Joint had Beatrice Haddad on the back foot for most of that match. I don't know what's wrong with Beatrice. She's having a losing season. Doesn't appear to be herself. I'm concerned. Yu Yan, she's going to take on Sorana Cirstea. Sorana had a tough match against Magdalena Freck yesterday. Magdalena up 3-1, the advantage, couldn't hold on. Sorana comes back. I think Yu Yan's going to be too much for Sorana Cirstea, just moving around, keeping Sorana on the back foot. Sorana wants to get to the backhand. I don't think Yu Yan's going to allow it. What about Sabalenka and Emma Raducanu? That's going to be a good match. Saba might be too strong, but is she in her best form? If not, I think Emma can take that. And I told you guys, I'm going to be watching Sabalenka closely after skipping Canada. We're going to see. She looked okay yesterday, but we're going to see what she has against a elite backhand. Yeah, Emma Raducanu. And Taylor Townsend, she's got a tough match coming up. I'm going to be watching that against Jessica Buzas-Monero. Taylor Townsend comes alive. Remember, she won the doubles titles here with Alicia Parks a couple years ago. And look, a lot of great matches, ladies and gentlemen. But Coco Gauff standing on business. She's victorious, guys. Look, Wong's a good player, but on hard, it's going to be a mismatch every time. Coco Gauff is just too good. The rematch with Dayana Yastremska coming up. Tennis in a minute. We'll be back.